Hey everybody, and welcome to my goals video for 2024. Let's skip my goals for 2023 review because the main conclusion is it didn't go well. I will probably still talk about it in a video at some point, but at this point in time let's just ignore it and let's just focus on new goals, you know? My key word for last year when it came to my goals, because I rewatched my goals video, was balance. And I will say that that is at least the same intention that I have going into 2024. Balancing different aspects of my life, balancing different interests in my life. I did not have the mic. I think it still caught what I was saying, so I think we're good. So balance is my main focus for 2024. Reading isn't my entire life, and sometimes with BookTube or with being a part of a bookish community, getting to talk to bookish people about books all day, every day, it's like disproportionately makes me focus on books, because being able to talk to bookish people about books that they like and books that they maybe didn't like just increases that sort of like love for reading and increases that excitement for reading. So when you're hearing people talk about books that they really like, you're like, oh yeah, I also want to get around to that. Oh, I need to get through my books so that I can fit more books on. And so it kind of spirals to some extent, or at least in my case, with my personality, it kind of spirals sometimes. And then it kind of can get to the point where books are like taking over my life. That's very dramatically put, but where books are like my main focus, where I definitely have other interests and other hobbies that I also want to be giving attention to, as well as this focusing on books can sometimes kind of push me out of the creating of content part, because I'm constantly putting the reading part over the actual creation of content part. Now, this creating of content has always been just like a way to talk about books, so to some extent I don't really mind stepping away a little bit from BookTube from time to time, but I would like to be more consistent still. I would like to find a better balance in reading, creating content. I don't necessarily want to be, making sure that I create 2 videos every single week just to satisfy an algorithm. Just to satisfy an algorithm that has never really liked me, but to just more consistently have stuff out there, to not have it go like a month between uploads, for example. That would be great for me. But let's talk about my goals in a little bit more of a structured way now. So for 2024, my goal in terms of the amount of books I want to be reading remains the same as every single year, 52 books. I know for me that this is a sort of goal that, it's achievable. It will happen somewhere in July or August, for example. So it is just a steady goal that I put there to just have a number on there to strive towards, but also one that is easy for me to obtain. No pressure there to keep on reading just to be able to have a higher number. So 52 books. Last year I had 52 movies. I achieved that goal. I also want this again this year. So 52 books, 52 movies, but also 52 hours of gaming or sessions of gaming. I haven't really made up my mind about that. I don't actually know how easy it is to see the hours of gaming. I know my stream Wrapped did have like the amount of sessions I played in a year, and so maybe the amount of hours is something that I would have to do manually, to calculate it manually. Maybe you can see it somewhere. I'll have to kind of figure that out. Still, 52 hours seems reasonable, because I don't really game all that often, I feel like, but when I do, I spend like hours on it. So I feel like 52 hours should be achievable, and so gaming to me is also less important. So if it is hours instead of sessions, that's perfectly fine by me. I just want to make sure that when I want to game, I don't feel like a restriction to gaming, in the sense of like, yeah, but isn't this time that I could better spent watching movies or reading books, because I have this TBR that needs to be completed within a month, because those are all arbitrary stuff that I'm putting on myself. So this is as well, but by putting this particular goal in there, I hope that I can just find a little bit more grace for myself in the moments in which I'm feeling like gaming, to allow myself to do it. Then I have a few sort of goals in terms of specific book-related goals. So I want to be finishing 10 series. I actually have a challenge up on Storygraph for myself, which I will link in the description, which is like personalized to me, of books that I want to read. So I think there are 22 books in total that I need to read in 2024 in order for me to finish 10 series. Of course, aside from those, I will probably also be finishing, hopefully, other series that just are more spur of the moment. They happen throughout the year. I, for example, didn't yet know the books for my dragon-based read-along at that point in time, so those series are also not in this overview. So those are 2 series that would get added automatically, but so 10 series. I feel like, I don't know the statistics for 2023, but I feel like I didn't get much series finished in 2023, and I mainly got a lot started. So I just want to get that one fixed in 2024. Make sure I finish a lot of series. I focused here on series that are easy for me to do. So series in which I either just have to read the one book, or in which I have to read like 2 books, in which I'm almost caught up, for example. Not focusing on certain series that I know are completed, but I still have to read like 5 books in it, because then it's still a massive amount of work for me to actually be able to achieve it. Then I also want to finish 5 books in Spanish. So in 2023 I read 1 book in Spanish. I have been reading occasionally in Spanish over the years, but I want to make it really a goal, because I'm always saying like I want to be doing this more frequently, reading something in Spanish, but I never seem to prioritize them. So by putting this goal in there, I'm hoping to find more time to put Spanish books on my radar and actually read them in Spanish. And then staying within the sort of like translated, non-originally English literature field, I want to read books from 5 different books translated from 5 different languages. So I feel like this is a goal that I probably achieved as well in 2023 without really making it a goal, but I want to intentionally keep it like that. So I feel like last year I definitely read a book translated from Japanese, Korean, Chinese, French, Spanish, so I definitely achieved this already without looking further into this, but yeah, this can stay a goal. I like to read translated literature, so I will always be reading translated literature, but I want to make sure that the translated literature that I'm reading, I'm also reading from different places. Then I also have 2 challenges that I won't go into this video really discussing them. I'll make separate videos for them at some point, which is 12 books by 12 friends, which is more or less the same board I had last year, but I did finish, I think at this point 4 out of them, because I did still read one of these unintentionally towards the end of December, so I think I need to replace 4 of those books for the new board, but I will do a video on that new board. And then I also set myself a challenge of 24 books for 2024, of which I actually in January so far have already read 3 of them, and so that is just a mix of books that I put on there for several reasons, and so I will talk about that in a separate video. Then I want to reduce my TBR. Again, this was a goal I didn't achieve last year, so my TBR stayed the same going into 2023, going into 2024, exact same number. I want to get it down. I'm reducing the amount by which I want to get it down just to give myself an easier win, let's say, to make sure that, you know, because I feel like towards September or so, I saw this as an unachievable goal at that point in time, so I have to stop working towards the goal. In this case, it is very achievable. I just need to reduce it by 3 books at this point in time, or like actually 4 because I got a new book in the meantime. So I need to reduce it by 4 books by the end of the year, so super easy to achieve, right? Yeah, I wanted to keep that goal feasible so that it's easy to achieve, and if I can do better, great, but if we can, for the next coming years, just make these small progresses, then we will also get to where I actually want to get to by the end of in a few years' time. So we don't need to make the giant leap in one go. You know, I've done that in the past. It's fine. I can take a more like easy, cautious approach this time around. And then one that carries over is just a rule for my physical TBR, that my physical TBR books can stay on there for a maximum of 1 year. This was managed very well in 2023, and I want to continue on with that. process in 2024, so the 1-year deadline remains. And then the final few things that I want to do is I want to host a readathon, which will definitely happen. Normally Game Nightathon is back for its July edition, same sort of game. I will kind of tweak the rules a little bit, I think, but it will be back in July and hopefully again as well in December, because I really liked the lottery version of that. And then I will host a read-along. I'm hosting a dragon-based read-along, which is starting in February. The last few books for that are still being chosen at this point in time. Once I have all of the choices, I will make a post on Twitter and I will film a video for that one as well. And then the final thing that I want to do some point in 2024 is try a 30 books in 30 days challenge. I was almost thinking that January was going to be the unexpected month for that, because in the first 3 days of the year I read 3 books, so I was like, oh okay, maybe I should just, you know, embrace it, this momentum and just make this my January goal. But then yeah, we're now the 7th day and now I've read 4, so we fell off a little bit. I could definitely still get it back if I wanted to, but I don't actually think I want to do this for this month because, you know, I have many big books on my TBR, and then I would definitely be completely switching around my January plans, so I think I'll just do it a little bit later in the year. But so this isn't the major goal. If this doesn't happen, then that's fine, but I kind of want to give it a go, kind of want to see it, I want to try it out. And I have so many like short stuff on my want to read on Goodreads that it should also not be that difficult. I have a ton of stuff on there that is under 100 pages that would just like be an easy way to get that goal done, but we'll see. I'll do it at some point this year. And then aside from that, which I'm not going to go over here, but for myself personally, I also made a list of things that I want to do in 2024, because I want to kind of stop saying, oh, I want to do that one day and just do them. So for example, I bought a ukulele in the first few days of January, and so I want to learn to play the ukulele. I've always wanted to play an instrument. As a kid, I was way too active, so my mom didn't think it was a great choice to put me in music class. So I never played music as a kid, but I do want to learn an instrument at this point in time. And there are many things like that, many things that I've wanted to try, or many places I want to go but never go to and stuff like that. So I'm putting a few of those on a list to try and see them as sort of like, you know, buckets to fill, boxes to check off, so that, you know, if I feel like, oh yeah, I want to go there, like, nah, but maybe not today, like, we'll do that someday, I can be like, no, let's do that now, and then we can tick off one of these boxes. So hopefully that will help encourage me to go from like, I'll do that someday to let's do that now. So yeah, that is my goals video for 2024. Let me know what like your main goal is for 2024. What's the main thing you want to be focusing on when it comes to reading, life, whatever you want to talk about. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this video, and see you guys for the next one. Bye!